Good morning. Very good calls yesterday. Hope you made a decent profit. Bournemouth deserved their win against Wolves, at least scoring first. Crystal Palace continue their run of 3 consecutive wins now under the new manager, so be careful. They lit up the in-play stats so much. Thought they'd score before half-time, but they didn't. Laid the draw second half there with that very, very strong Crystal Palace set of stats. Playing derby matches, I did warn you. And there we go, 2-0. Everton likely to stay up now. Luton Town required to win 3 of the last 4 matches to hassle Everton in the relegation dogfight. Man United, Sheffield United, well, we did make a profit here. 34 quid. This taking on, I think, a Sheffield United early lead. The usual absolute mayhem from Manchester United. 1-2 lead. We took on, and off we go. Bruno Fernandes, the big help yesterday. You could have taken on the Desmond Tutu as well at that point. Twente and AZ and Ajax had no strong plays there yesterday. Far too efficient FC Twente, scoring first and not really being hassled at any stage. Don't forget the 20-minute rule for these 1.2 favourites. Well, 10 minutes there. Ajax did actually get an equaliser down to 10 men. I'm not sure if I would have trusted that, but those of you who did, well done. Sirius getting a good equaliser against Bromma after losing their previous match 0-1. Unlikely loss against Varnamo, who were struggling prior to that. But as you can see, it's still very early in the season. We're getting shock-ish results. This was the big profit maker of the day, Austria Klagenfurt. I had £289 waiting on Austria Klagenfurt at day one. I think it's 289, but I greened up, so I can't be sure of the amount. But backing them at the odds of 95, that's the way to go. Red Bull Salzburg took the lead. 0-2 at half-time. Normally, in a Red Bull Salzburg game, that's usual, par for the course. But there's just something about Austria Klagenfurt's in-play stats which suggested that that lay of Red Bull Salzburg was very, very good value. This is the second time we've taken on a big gun and won. Laying Red Bull Salzburg at 1.06, backing Austria Klagenfurt at 95. I could have come out there with a whopping near £300 profit. But this is the reality. If you've got £63 and your possible loss on the draw is £6, something like that, what would you take? It's very, very unlikely 2-2 draw. I took the 66, but I'm ruining it now. Second one, I've left massive profit on the table. Heidenheim, 200 plus odds. They won as well, but I cashed out early. So I have to think about this in the future. How can I still get a profit from the match, but leave myself with an opportunity to profit massively? And we're talking bigger than 66. So really good stuff there. Coventry and Hull, given the needs of the match, Desmond Tutu, gettable. And 76-minute Ohio for Hull. And look at what that's done to the standings for Coventry and Hull. Hull are ever nearer to the the promotion playoff places. That's why I call this a playoff place 6-pointer. Must take points off your nearest rival. Now they are within a win of Norwich with plenty of matches to go. So it's going to be intriguing to see the kind of push that Hull can get. With Southampton wobbling a little bit, with a couple of defeats, West Ham wobbling a little bit, Ipswich failing to win in 3. They're not going to catch the ones in 80s, but these are the 2 they want to catch. Norwich are being a little too consistent for Hull's needs. SJK and HJK Helsinki. Well, if you stuck with HJK Helsinki, that would have been your trading angle yesterday. Equaliser, 2-1, equaliser, win. I did take on the late 3-3. But had you stuck with HJK Helsinki here, you'd have been all right. But it's very, very early in the season. We've only had a matter of, I think, three or four matches. So it's very difficult to be strongly favouring as a particular side unless you've got them by reputation. HJK likely to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season in the title. This was a derby-style match. And even with a red card, Marseille still got through 2-2. This is what I'm talking to you about, derby matches that can be very tough to unpack. Hence the loss on the Everton-Liverpool match. This could have been an absolute whopping profit maker. PAOK Thessaloniki getting a very late equaliser against 10 men. Should have taken it on. 900-minute equaliser for a 1.18 shot. Again, why not? We did it with Austria Klagenfurt. Low liability. This would have been even lower liability. And you've made a massive profit. I was disappointed I didn't pass that on. AVS and Porto. AVS are there or thereabouts at the top of the Portuguese Segunda League, but far too efficient. Correa yesterday gets a 1.67 shot. I didn't take on AVS, thankfully. I didn't take on Porto B, sorry. Thankfully, 0-2 up. So that red card would quite simply knock the stuffing out of your play. This is a gentle reminder. Sometimes if you venture outside of the elite leagues, you can get caught with your pants down. Looking on to today. Can we keep the good run going this evening? We're Brighton against Man City. Man City are going to be licking their lips now. They've only got one contender for the title. Really, and that's Arsenal. But Arsenal have a match coming up against Tottenham Hotspur. And you saw what happens in derby-style matches. So that's going to be absolutely fascinating there. Man City's favoured throughout. Really, not much I can add, is there, to the research. Heerenveen and PSV Eindhoven. PSV only lost one match all season. They are slowly edging towards the title. Not there. Oh, they are there. Oh, they're qualified for the Champions League, so they can't be caught in the top two, these two. So do bear that in mind when looking at particularly final at the end of the season. There's a 9-point gap. So just be a little wary. But PSV unbeaten so far this season. Sorry, they've only lost one to NEC Nijmegen. Heerenveen, they're in 10th place. 12 points above the relegation zone. Safe, I think. And they're not... Well, they are. They're only 4 points away from European football. So plenty for Heerenveen to keep them interested. But PSV, you enter this match really thinking they're not going to lose. Go Ahead Eagles against Feyenoord. Well, you've already seen that Feyenoord are guaranteed Champions League football next season. Can they catch PSV? It's unlikely. But if PSV lose, Feyenoord win, it's going to be very, very interesting coming into the end of the season. Let's just see how many matches are remaining. As we need to do at this stage of the season, you've got to weigh up the amount of matches played, because there's going to be some matches where teams have nothing to play for. And trusting teams like that is a very tough ask. Eredivisie, all. And you can see 4 matches remain. That's 12 possible points. So if PSV win today, they should win the title. That's what the preview might tell us as well. Let's have a look. Lot to play for indeed. Kies van Wonderen. Hey, how are you guys? Yeah, it's Kies van Wonderen here. Nice to see you. Yeah. PSV, busy with everything but the rankings now, regretting the loss of Serginho Dest. PSV could become champions this weekend is looming after this match between PSV and Heerenveen. Feyenoord will play their away fixture against Go Ahead Eagles. If the team from Rotterdam achieves a worse result than the team from Eindhoven this Thursday, PSV will officially become interim champions. So that's the kind of match we like to latch onto. Odds-on favourite wins will be interim champions. Feyenoord must win as well. So these are really good matches to trade because you know there's motivation. Elsewhere, the Swedish Allsvenskan, I've just had a little dabble in it. Although, as you know, it's very, very early in the season. So there's very little I can pass on to you, I'm afraid. Djurgården and Malmo. I would actually favour Malmo. 4 out of 4 wins. 3 consecutive clean sheets. Both sides have had 0-0s at half-time last match, but did see a goal before half-time and a 3 prior. Malmo have scored 9 goals in 2 away matches. And they really do look good, don't they, this Malmo side? But Djurgården are one of the big guns. So that's where you get not even getting odds on favourite about Malmo today. Halmstad and Hammarby. Loss, win, win, loss for Halmstad. Helmstedt have not had a 0-0 at half-time yet. That might be something for you to think about, possibly to a goal before half-time. But as you can see, it's very, very early in the season. Hammarby are yet to win an away match. Kalmar and GAIS, or Gaias. 3 losses for Kalmar, ended unexpectedly in a 1-2 win against Elfsborg last match. This is an Elfsborg side who were top 2 last season, so that was a bit of a shock result. Gentle reminder of the potential for upsets early season when we don't have that those form lines in play. No draw yet for Kalmar. Both teams have scored in 3 matches. Not sure what to make of this one. 2.25 the favourite. Norrköping, loss, win, draw for Norrköping, who have scored 1-0, 1-1 goals, which is a worry. Only 1 clean sheet. A draw, win, loss for Elfsborg, who would have been looking for top 3 place this season. They've conceded 5 goals in 2 matches. It's a really poor start from the Elf. Any 0-0s at half-time have ended second half. Västerås and Mjällby, frustrating start for Västerås. 4-1-0 defeats. So that is a bit of a frustration for them. Is that going to continue? It's got to end at some point, isn't it? Does that suggest they might be labelled of leading? If they can't score, then they're surely not going to score 2 consecutive goals if they do today. Both sides have had 3 0-0s at half-time, but none at full-time. Now, it's a really interesting pattern for Västerås. Can we target that to end today? That 1-0 sequence. If they're losing 1-0, can we take on that 1-0? Elsewhere, I think that's about us for this evening. There's Antwerp and Union Saint-Gilloise at 7:30. Danish First Division, not really interested. No Finnish Veikkausliiga today. We had the Greek top flight yesterday. No Norwegian football because they've had the cup yesterday and that continues today. Sarpsborg from the top flight. Fredrikstad, I think from the second tier. Vålerenga from the top flight. The only thing lacking is liquidity in the Betfair markets when you're taking on the cup matches. They are very readable and they give you good trades as well, particularly if you're into the goals. So I might see you later on. There's only really 2 8 o'clock matches, so that does really preclude me from wanting to stay up till 2 a.m. just for 2 matches. They're both eminently tradable. I think you've got really good handles into this. Manchester City simply must win after Liverpool's deflation. Man City win, 2 games in hand, cruise control. 73-76 with a win tonight, 76-79 for another win. They'll have a 2-point gap over the arse. And they've got the advantage of Arsenal taking on Tottenham next. Ouch. Liverpool, yet another away fixture for Liverpool. They've really been faltering away of late. Man City got Brighton today. And that's it. So you can see the motivation. I'll certainly be around for the 5:45 kickoffs, 6 o'clock, and I'll see whether I'll stay up for the 8 o'clock. There's only 2 of those matches. I don't really see the warrant for me to stay up just for 2 matches. It's not the most efficient use of my time, but certainly I'll be around for these 6 o'clocks. Might be readable. In-play stats are certainly going to be beneficial, as they were last night, as you saw. What a pity with Klagenfurt. I hope 1 or 2 of you stayed into the bitter end, you degenerate gamblers, to pick up 200 plus quid for a £6 or less liability. Not too shabby, eh? Welcome to footballtradingprofits.com. Let's have a look at the tennis from yesterday before we depart. Do practice your trading in the simplest way that you can. Let's have a look. So we got the Madrid matches, first cues from the market. So we haven't had a surprise just yet. 1.62. Well, losing in 2 sets. Gaël Monfils. But would you trust Monfils at this age? 40th against 60th. So tight ATP rankings. Too tight, really, for there to be an odds-on favourite. So that would have been I wonder if I would have played or not, that one. Because Gaël Monfils is not the force of old. What a pity Karatsev couldn't win the first set. Very, very battling performance against a 1.14. Marozsan. Lorna Coric losing the first set, winning the second. That's what you're after. Thanasi Kokkinakis, mate. Strokes, mate. Where's me strides, mate? He won the second set. Unlikely against Jack Draper. Nakashima got through the qualifiers at 1.4 favourite, so was really done. But the second set, it would have been hit and miss whether you'd have seen a profit. It all depended on whether Nakashima got ahead at any point in the second set. Doesn't look like he did, because it looked to be on serve all the way through. So let's have a look. Well, that would have been your first angle in. That's where you'd have got the odds move for Nakashima yesterday. So you've had to be a little cautious, a little patient, and waiting until the tie break for that 5-3. Get out at the 5-3, and you'd have made a profit, because the market would be expecting Nakashima, 1.4 favourite, to have won that set. Another pity that Shang, that's a Guernsey for bicycle, Shang, Pushang. So there we go, I'm teaching you some Guernsey language today. Mute won the first set, 7-6 favourite, so I wouldn't really have taken him on. Would have been nice had Shang won that first set. As Shapovalov lost the first set. Oh no, he won the first set, but Diacosta won the second. So very strange to see Shapovalov not odds-on favourite there. In the ladies' game, I don't like playing ladies' tennis. But having said that, I Shot the Sheriff won the second set after losing the first at odds-on. Let's have a look elsewhere. No problem for Rogers. So the odds-on favourites delivering in the ladies' game yesterday, it seems, apart from Emma Raducanu. But would you trust her with stolen money? 221st in the rankings. That suggests there's been some injury concerns. There's also the mental issues. After winning, the US Open, she got a whole bag loads of money thrown at her. And that will have affected her tennis, won't it? But 221st in the world as favourite. Not sure I would have trusted her, I'm afraid. So do be careful. Do check the ATP rankings as well. Don't think I could trust Emma Raducanu. 1.53 Andreeva going down to Townend and then winning the second set. So that's the kind of thing you're looking for in the tennis. So I'll see you certainly for the Swedes at about 6 o'clock this evening, but I'm not sure I'll be about just for two matches which are kicking off at 8 p.m. I'm sure you can cope with those yourself. Both must wins. Feyenoord must win. Man City must win. So you've got ready angles in there, particularly if their opponents score first, or if it's 0-0 at half-time, or a draw at half-time. Hopefully we can continue our excellent run to making the green screens for you. Brilliant stuff at footballtradingprofits.com. See you later.